The Darwin Tree of Life project aims to sequence the genomes of all 70,000 eukaryotic species in Britain and Ireland. The Royal Botanic Garden Edinburgh is involved in the project as a genome acquisition lab for plants, including the roughly 1,000 species of bryophytes native to Britain and Ireland. We've been sampling at several bryophyte-rich sites across Scotland, including the Board of Forest Trust sites at Carafran and Gameshope, and the National Trust for Scotland's Beinn and Glencoe National Nature Reserves. Another site with great potential for sampling a different suite of species is Beinn National Nature Reserve, owned and managed by Nature Scot. Here there are a rich diversity of bryophytes, including species characteristic of the Atlantic liverwort heath community, such as Herbertus hutchinsii, Bassania pearsonii, Mastigophora woodsii, Pleurosia purpurea, and Scapania ornithopoides. Beinn is also home to the endemic Scottish liverwort Herbertus borealis, which is locally abundant on the summit plateau. In contrast to these oceanic species requiring an abundance of moisture, over 200 wet days per year, Beinn also supports a diversity of species tolerating periods of drought on the many sun-exposed bare rock faces, such as Hedvigia stellata, Grimmia funalis, and Andrea hookeri. Other species sampled from Beinn to date include the moss Meesia uliginosa and the rare liverwort Harpanthus flotovianus, both growing in flush calcareous ground, as well as Splachnum sphaericum, a species that is found on decaying dung and animal carcasses. This moss is unusual amongst bryophytes in its dispersal strategy, with the capsules emitting an odour to attract insects which then disperse the sticky spores. For vascular plants, we generally process samples in the field, removing leaves and placing them in liquid nitrogen to preserve DNA of the highest possible quality. However, because of the diminutive size of bryophytes and their tendency to grow in mixed stands, as well as providing a habitat for other organisms, samples are brought back to the lab to be processed under a microscope. This allows us to isolate individual shoots of the species of interest before being flash frozen in liquid nitrogen to preserve the DNA. Aside from bryophytes, Beinn is also an important site for sampling of other organisms for the Darwin Tree of Life, including vascular plants, lichens, and invertebrates.